The landing is very much happening tomorrow at 6:04 p.m. That's when the soft landing will be completed. The actual process begins about 44 minutes earlier at about 5:20 in the evening tomorrow. Here we'll be getting you all the live updates. I'll be live from 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, building up to that big moment of the soft landing. But everyone remembers what happened a few years ago. In 2019, those heartbreaking images when Chandrayaan-3 failed to make a soft landing, crash landed instead on the moon. A heartbroken then Isro chief Sivan broke down in tears, had the entire country emotional with those images of him being hugged by the Prime Minister. Today, he's a confident man, confident that this time around they've corrected the wrongs of Chandrayaan-2 and that the soft landing will very much happen. Here's an excerpt of the conversation that Rahul Kanwal had with Mr. Sivan.
I want to start by asking you about the lunar mission of the Russians, which crashed very unfortunately over the weekend without being able to land successfully. You know, given what has happened with the Luna 25, which was Russia's first attempt to land a spacecraft off the moon, and that ending in failure, you know, would that increase the levels of anxiety of the team in the Space Center of Isro at this moment? Does that make you one extra level more anxious?
No, it is not so. First of all, Luna mission failure and this one, they are not related. Luna, actually, that is its own system, its own the sensor, thrusters, and it may have its own characteristics. But we have our own system, our own thruster, our own sensors, which it has been functioning very nicely and without any problem, and till now we are achieved what we want in a perfect way, and I am sure that this will repeat on 23rd also. So we will get a good landing, and we are not getting disturbed by the Luna 25 failure. They are not related, they are not a similar system, they are different system. Okay. So we are confident that we will be able to achieve without any problem.
Just ahead of the landing of Chandrayaan-2, you described the final phase of the landing as the 15 minutes of terror. Could you explain in layman's language the complexity involved in that final slow descent, and why is it that most of the lunar missions that have gone wrong over the last few years, including the Japanese and the Israeli ones, have gone wrong just at the last stage, it seems?
See, this lunar mission is a very crucial and very critical and very complex, and that's what we are calling this the entire descent process from 25 or 30 kilometers to touchdown is a 15 minutes terror. The reason is that is when at the starting of the travel descent, the craft used to move with the velocity of about 2 kilometers per second in the horizontal direction. Now this velocity has to be reduced in a controlled fashion, within bracket controlled fashion, to 0. And very interestingly, this 2 kilometers per second velocity is to be made to 0 at the time of touchdown, this one. So what really happened is there is a lunar gravity is acting. At the same time, that is if the thrust is not sufficient, it will fall like a football, or if it is thrusting more, it will go away from the trajectory. And this controlled manner we are bringing to velocity 2 kilometers per second to 0. It's a very crucial, and this 0 should be only at the surface of the moon. If it is 0 earlier, it will fall like a football, and if it is non-zero at the time of touchdown, again it's a hard landing. So that way, the whole process is a very, very meticulous to ensure that the velocity is to be reduced to zero at the right moment and the time at the right location should be there. That's what we are calling. It's a very, very critical and very complex process, and that's what we are calling a 50 minutes error.